In the heart of the Arabian Peninsula lies the General Intelligence Directorate, Saudi Arabia's primary intelligence agency. Tasked with safeguarding national security, the GID operates in the shadows, its methods often controversial. This essay delves into the GID's secretive world, exploring its history, mission, and impact on Saudi Arabia and beyond. The GID's origins trace back to the years following the establishment of Saudi Arabia in 1932. King Abdulaziz recognized the need for a dedicated intelligence service to protect his nation. Initially, ad hoc, the GID began to formalize in the 1950s under King Saud, influenced by Western intelligence models. The GID emerged as a key pillar of Saudi security, monitoring internal dissent and countering foreign influence. Its mandate soon expanded to address a wider range of threats, both domestic and international. The GID's mission encompasses intelligence gathering, counterterrorism, counterintelligence, and covert operations. It monitors threats from terrorist groups, foreign governments, and hostile organizations. The GID's reach extends globally, with agents operating worldwide. Counterterrorism is a key priority, especially post 9/11, with efforts to disrupt terrorist networks. The GID also focuses on counterintelligence, neutralizing foreign espionage threats. Covert operations, including targeted killings and disinformation campaigns, have drawn criticism from human rights groups. The GID's operations, often secretive, reveal its far-reaching influence and controversial methods. Notably, the GID combated al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula post 9/11, significantly weakening AQAP. However, its counterterrorism efforts have faced accusations of human rights abuses, including torture and arbitrary detention. The GID has also been implicated in silencing dissent, including the alleged murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018. The Khashoggi case highlighted the GID's secretive operations and raised questions about its accountability. Balancing national security with fundamental freedoms remains a challenge for the GID. The GID's operations are overseen by influential figures within the Saudi government. Prince Turki Al Faisal, Director General from 1977 to 2001, transformed the GID into a global intelligence service. Under his leadership, the GID supported the Afghan Mujahideen during the Soviet-Afghan War. Prince Turki also led efforts to combat terrorism in the 1990s, disrupting al-Qaeda operations. Successive leaders, including Prince Mukrin bin Abdulaziz and Prince Bandar bin Sultan, have shaped the GID's evolution. Each leader brought unique perspectives, responding to changing threats and geopolitical realities. The General Intelligence Directorate, or GID, has faced numerous controversies over the years. These controversies include serious allegations of human rights abuses and a significant lack of transparency in their operations. Critics argue that the agency operates in a shadowy manner, often beyond the reach of legal oversight. Human rights groups have meticulously documented numerous cases of torture and arbitrary detention carried out by GID officers. These reports often highlight the brutal treatment of detainees who are sometimes held without charge or trial for extended periods. The GID's broad powers and lack of accountability have raised significant concerns about potential abuse and impunity. Many activists and legal experts argue that without proper checks and balances, the agency can easily overstep its bounds, leading to severe human rights violations. The agency's involvement in controversial operations abroad, including rendition and torture, has drawn international condemnation. These operations often involve the secret transfer of suspects to countries where they face harsh interrogation techniques, sometimes amounting to torture. The murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi further tarnished the GID's reputation on the global stage. This high-profile case sparked widespread outrage and calls for greater scrutiny of the agency's activities, both domestically and internationally. Balancing national security with human rights and the rule of law remains a critical challenge for the GID. While the agency plays a crucial role in protecting the nation, it must also ensure that its methods do not violate fundamental human rights. This delicate balance is essential for maintaining public trust and upholding the principles of justice and accountability. The GID has undergone reforms to modernize the agency and address criticisms. A notable development is the GID's increased focus on cybersecurity, investing in skilled hackers and sophisticated tools. The GID has enhanced intelligence sharing and cooperation with international partners. Efforts to improve its public image include establishing a human rights department and engaging with international organizations. Critics argue that more needs to be done to ensure accountability and respect for human rights. Greater transparency and independent oversight are essential for the GID's future. The GID faces a complex threat landscape with terrorism, regional instability, and cyber threats posing significant challenges. These threats are ever-evolving, requiring constant vigilance and adaptation. The GID must stay ahead of adversaries who are becoming increasingly sophisticated in their methods. Counter-terrorism remains a top priority, with efforts to combat groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda. These organizations continue to pose a significant threat, not just regionally, but globally. The GID collaborates with international partners to dismantle terrorist networks and prevent attacks. This involves a combination of military operations, intelligence sharing, and strategic planning. The GID also focuses on countering Iranian influence in the region through intelligence gathering and covert operations. Iran's activities in the Middle East are seen as destabilizing, and the GID works to mitigate these threats. This includes monitoring proxy groups and intercepting covert operations that could undermine regional stability. Cybersecurity is a growing concern, with efforts to bolster defenses against state-sponsored hackers and criminal groups. The digital battlefield is constantly changing, and the GID invests in advanced technologies and skilled personnel to protect critical infrastructure. Cyber threats can disrupt economies, compromise sensitive information, and even endanger lives. Domestic challenges, including social and economic tensions, require careful monitoring and management. The GID must balance security with civil liberties, ensuring that measures taken do not infringe on the rights of citizens. Economic disparity and social unrest can be breeding grounds for radicalization, making it essential to address these issues proactively. The GID's methods have often been criticized for being heavy-handed and stifling dissent. Critics argue that such approaches can lead to further alienation and unrest. It is a delicate balance between maintaining order and respecting democratic principles. The GID must navigate these complexities to ensure both security and freedom. The GID's mandate has expanded to encompass a global outlook, reflecting Saudi Arabia's growing international influence. This shift marks a significant evolution in the agency's role, moving from a primarily domestic focus to a more comprehensive international presence. Saudi Arabia's strategic interests now extend far beyond its borders, necessitating a robust and dynamic intelligence apparatus. The GID is at the forefront of this transformation, adapting to new global challenges and opportunities. The GID's international presence includes efforts to counter Iranian influence, track terrorist funding, and monitor dissidents abroad. These activities are crucial for maintaining regional stability and protecting national interests. Intelligence sharing and cooperation with foreign partners are crucial for addressing transnational threats. The GID collaborates with numerous international agencies to enhance global security and combat common adversaries. The GID's expanding global footprint has drawn scrutiny and criticism, particularly regarding human rights abuses. These concerns have been raised by various international organizations and human rights groups. Protests and rallies have highlighted these issues, putting pressure on the GID to address and reform its practices. The agency's actions are closely monitored by the global community. The agency's international activities have sometimes strained relations with Western allies. Diplomatic tensions arise from differing perspectives on security and human rights. Despite these challenges, the GID's international role is likely to continue expanding as Saudi Arabia asserts itself globally. The kingdom's strategic ambitions and geopolitical interests drive the GID's evolving mission, ensuring its relevance on the world stage. The GID's future is linked to Saudi Arabia's transformation under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Adapting to evolving threats, including cyber warfare and misinformation, will be crucial. The GID's relationship with the Crown Prince will shape its future direction, potentially becoming more assertive. Balancing independence with cooperation and intelligence sharing with key partners is essential. The GID's effectiveness will depend on navigating complex international relationships. The agency's future remains uncertain, influenced by domestic politics, regional dynamics, and global security challenges. The GID remains a formidable force within Saudi Arabia, its influence extending globally. Tasked with safeguarding the kingdom's interests, the GID operates in secrecy, often shrouded in controversy. As Saudi Arabia undergoes transformation, the GID must adapt to evolving threats and address criticisms. The GID's enduring power and influence will continue to shape Saudi Arabia and the wider Middle East for years to come.